actually have these guys set some limb lines, and we're going to be in some chest deep water, and I'm gonna run the camera with a dry bag and show y'all how we set these up. So he's got the bait already hooked up when we come out here. It's pre-wound around the yo-yo, and he's going to set it to where it's probably only a foot or 2 foot under the water. And we're just rigging up a whole bunch of different lines out here. It's a numbers game. The more you put out, the more fish you'll catch. So you just want to tie it to a good limb, and then you want to set your depth for your bait, couple of feet. It's just as long as the bait's not on the bottom, you're good to go. So basically what he's got here is, we like to rig up, take a stick and pre-wrap all your bait around the stick, so that when you're walking out here you don't have 5 or 10 different lines hanging off of you getting tangled. So you just wrap it around the pole and then just release each one every time you get to a new spot, and that'll make things a lot more convenient for you. And it floats. When you're setting the bait on the limb, you just toss your stick right down there and it ain't going nowhere. You can see the bait dangling right below it. Alright, so right now I am rigging up kind of an improvised fishing pole, and I've got a big chunk of bait on it. Basically right out here in the middle is a deep hole. It's kind of weird, it's all shallows, and then right in the middle there's like probably a 20 by 20 foot section that's probably over my head, even with the water being low right now. And kind of the secret with this is you take a little bit of trot line and you get you a pole, attach it, and then attach your monofilament to your actual trot line here, and you want to wrap it up kind of like you would like to lasso or something like that. And then you want to take your bait in one hand and your trot line in the other and just toss it out. And you can kind of pull in the slack with your pole. And I'm just going to set some rocks over the top of this and then come back and check it later. Alright, so we went and got our catfish a few minutes ago, and right now I want to get a fire started. We don't want to walk all the way back to camp because we've got fishing lines and things to attend to here, and survival's a calories game, so we don't want to waste any extra time. One of the other guys had some matches in camp. I didn't carry any in my kit, and I wanted to demonstrate to you this technique. I couldn't do this with a flint and steel, but I could definitely, you know, for you guys who carry Bic lighters and things like that, this is a really good method to know. So everything is totally soaked right now. It's been raining for days. There's no tinder. I mean, all the cedar's wet. The stuff that we found yesterday under the underside has even been soaked also. I mean, there's always something out there, but, you know, at the end of the day, you don't want to waste a whole bunch of calories looking for tinder when there's other methods out there. So what I've got right here is some pine sap, and we picked a whole bunch of it, and I'm going to make a little torch real quick and make a quick fire. And when you're doing a fire with a match, you want to make sure that your finger is by the head so that you don't break the match. Well, shit. The phosphorus rubbing. That was actually missing half the red stuff on it, so. There we go. So much for my one match fire, huh? And I'm basically just using this like a torch And I'll keep feeding pine sap into it. Make sure that it keeps burning. And then I just throw my split. I basically just quartered some cedar logs out, built a base of cedar on the bottom. And this is the only way you're going to get any dry wood, is if you quarter it out. And I'm just going to let that burn. And I'm going to get it cooked up, or get a good base of coals going, and then I'll switch the wood out with the cedar to cook our fish, because any kind of pine or cedar or anything like that is going to leave a nasty taste on your fish. So get your coals started with these resinous woods, and then go and get some better stuff once you get your heat going. Alright, so we got the fire started and got the catfish gutted, and I'm just going to use a pretty simple method for cooking these. We're just going to cook them either right in the coals or right in the coals. I thought about grilling them, but this method's better. So you're just going to wrap these up with leaves. This is sycamore leaves, and I like these just because they're big and they have kind of a neutral flavoring. They don't really taste like anything. You can use grape leaves. Those work excellent also. And just wrap this thing up with several layers. And then I split some grapevine out to make it a little bit more pliable. And I'm just going to use this as a wrapping. Now you can use the grape leaves, but the only downside to those is they're not as big and they don't cover quite as well. So you're just going to wrap this catfish up with the leaves and then twist whatever kind of vines you've got around it. This is a grapevine. Make sure it's real tight. And then just loop it back around on itself, back through the hole, so that it stays together. Or you can do some kind of little cross hitch or whatever. Just anything that works. It's not got to be fancy. And basically just take that, throw it in the fire. I got one more to wrap up and we'll be eating in no time. So you want the fire to cook down real hot and get a good bed of coals. And then you just take your fish and just set them in here. There's really nothing to it. And you want to let it cook for about probably 10 minutes per side. And you know, find you a decent stick or some tongs to flip it, and it'll be ready to eat in about 20 minutes. So all I'm doing right now is making some chopsticks to eat with. And a few minutes ago made a set of tongs. Now I can make fancier ones than this with, you know, a stick in the middle and string, but you know, this gets the job done at the end of the day, and that's really all that matters. And just take that, set it on the rock, and get Chris's fish here.
Chris is done.
Yeah, he's definitely done. And just pull the leaves back. And there's a lot of different ways you can eat this. And I see a lot of guys who spend time carving forks and spoons and things like that. And while that's great, you know, skill to have, you know, I never see anybody hardly using chopsticks. I mean, the Asian people have had it figured out. You just grab a couple of twigs and go to town on this stuff. So I'm going to dig in on this, and I'm definitely going to enjoy it. Man, I missed that turtle the first time, and he got away from me for a minute. This is actually the little one. There was 2 of them in there, and there's one twice as big as this somewhere in there. I had to reach my hand in there and try to feel around, and I finally got him to shoot back out. And once I did, man, I just grabbed him as quick as I could and threw him up on shore. So, you know, turtles are great for not only eating, but I mean, you can eat every part of the turtle. A lot of people say that there's not a lot of meat on a turtle. That's very true. There's not a whole lot of real meat that we would typically eat in society. But the guts and things are excellent addition to stew. Just make sure you clean them up, kind of prepare them like noodles, things like that. They're actually fairly tasty, no bullshit. We serve them sometimes out at some of our survival classes. So I'm going to put this one up and see if I can't get another one. All right, I've got this other one pinned down here, trying to figure out. Trying to palm him like a basketball without getting my hands close to his head. Little suckers are strong. Got you. Got you. Hell yeah.
That's bigger than the other one.
Woo! Don't claw me, you little bastard. Say hi.
Hey,
all right, that's dinner number 2. Well, we caught 3 cats today and 2 turtles, and we ain't even trying that hard. Hell, I came down here to go swimming and take a break and maybe throw a line in the water because we got a pretty full belly, but man, you never know when this stuff's going to pop out at you. So we're going to take these babies and probably cook them up. So we caught the 2 turtles, right? And we're just doing a 3-day trip. So we kind of decided, since we're leaving in probably less than 24 hours, that we're just going to go ahead and let these go. You know, we've actually been eating pretty good. We've had several catfish, a perch, I've eaten a ton of nettles, and since it's a short-term trip, I don't see any need to, you know, to kill these things, so we're just going to go ahead and let them go. You know, I get a lot of flack from, you know, members that watch my preparing wild game videos. They absolutely go batshit crazy when I grab a pair of channel locks and chop one of these things' heads off, because it's kind of difficult to kill them humanely, but they are very good eating, and in a survival situation, these things are pretty easy to get, guys. So, and I know a lot of people on there have gotten on my channel and commented, oh, there's nothing worth messing with on a turtle, blah, blah, blah. This baby will keep you alive, and not only will it keep you alive calories-wise, you turn this shell, you know, you bust open the bottom portion of this shell by cracking it here and here, and you've got a cooking apparatus. You can boil water. I mean, you can do a crazy amount of stuff in a turtle shell. So in a survival situation, you know, don't neglect this. So I'm going to go ahead and let this thing go, and we're going to head back up to our honey hole, see if we caught any more fish, and you know, try out the pocket fisherman that I made. All right, so here they go. As much as I'd like to eat them, I'm not all that hungry. I've been eating good. Turtle is fantastic. I'm going to go ahead and let these babies get back to their natural environment. There they go.
At once, a little bitty one swam off. Lightning.
Alright, so I caught those turtles, but initially I just came down here because I wanted to go swimming. It's kind of hot, and you know, it's been raining, and we've been doing a lot of walking and things like that. And we hadn't been totally focusing on food. I've even gone out and taken some scouting trips just to look around and things like that. Came down here to take a swim, got the 2 turtles, and I thought, well, heck, might as well do some fishing too. So what I rigged up here is kind of a little pocket fishing system. You know, just like you'd see guys buying from, you know, I think Dave Canterbury has one, and there's a lot of them out there online, but you really don't need to buy some fancy kit. All you need is hooks and fishing line, and you don't even need a sinker. You can use rocks. You can just tie it on. But anyways, I'm going to toss this out. I got a little cricket. All our bait's at another location, and crickets aren't that great because the brim will literally, they'll just nibble them off and then not take the hook. But, you know, you work with what you got. And basically what you do is you just cast it just like you would a fishing pole. Yeah, that got hung up. But that's the concept of it. And I'm going to get this out a little bit farther and see if we can't catch some fish. Alright, so wrapped up day 2, hanging out up here at camp, fixing to rack out and go to sleep. Give you a little recap on what happened today. We caught 3 good-sized catfish, and we also caught 3 really good-sized turtles. We didn't get the 3rd turtle on tape because it was so dark outside and it was raining. We don't have like a waterproof case for the camera, but the turtle that we caught was twice as big as the big one that we caught before, and we went ahead and let him go. So we've had tons of nettles. We've had, you know, opportunities obviously to eat turtle, and we've eaten quite a bit of catfish today. So we've been doing pretty good on you know, taking care of our stomach while we've been out here. It's been raining nonstop, just up here drying everything out. And to kind of give you an idea of, you know, how many sets we did as far as traps. So the first day I only put out 4 fishing line traps, which were just line traps, and a lot of the reason behind that was because obviously it was thunderstorms, things like that. And then today we put out about 9 or 10 sets, and one of them caught a, you know, that big big turtle like I talked about, and then few of them we had the bait stripped off of, and then we've got the rest of them setting out overnight. So we'll go check them in the morning and see how we did. There's no telling. You know, hopefully we get some fish so that we can fill our belly for the last days, you know, that we're going to be here. So, wrapping up day 3, just to give you an update of, you know, kind of how day 3 goes. Since we were, you know, this was a 3-day trip, we didn't think that we'd want to, you know, trap a whole lot of, or catch more turtles and more fish since we're fixing to go back to society. So there's really, you know, nothing great to show you about the last day because we pulled our limb lines. We caught a big turtle last night, monster, but it was pouring, and you know, the lighting was bad and we couldn't take the camera out in it. So all in all, we caught 3 turtles. I mean, big turtles too. I mean, we could have survived on just those. 3 catfish and 2 brim, and that was more than enough to feed us. We also had a lot of nettles and things like that, and you know, we ate pretty good for the limited amount of equipment. So we're gonna wrap up day 3, break camp, and head on guys home. So we're wrapping up day 3, and it's been a pretty epic trip. We've had a lot of success. You know, 3 guys, we came out here and basically survived off just my fishing kit and, you know, catching turtles and things like that. Now, we didn't really use any other equipment other than what I stated was being used in the beginning of the video, and we had 3 guys that were out here able to survive with one tiny fishing kit, you know, knife, and you know, a couple other items. So that goes to show you that it doesn't take a lot of gear. Gear is a luxury. When I did the Diary of a Survivalist videos, I ate like a king, guys. I mean, I had so much food, I stopped killing stuff. And I was comfortable. I had a nice sleeping bag. I had a pillow, rolled up mat. I didn't have all these things here, but this just goes to show you can survive just fine. It's all about the misery level that you're willing to accept. So, you know, I challenge you guys to go out there and take one of these trips. Try to live, you know, check out the local laws and make sure that, you know, what you're doing or what we're doing is legal in your area. And if it's not, just modify it a little bit, the challenge to what would meet local laws. And I want you guys to go out there, and I want you to post videos. I want you to go out there and do the same thing that I'm doing, and we'll see what kind of results you guys are getting and how you're doing. And, you know, I totally appreciate all your guys' viewership, and, you know, we love coming out here and doing these videos for you, so we'd just appreciate it if you would share, like, subscribe to our videos. Go out there and post them in every place that you possibly can. That is the single best way that you can help our school grow so that we can increase our training for you. And, you know, if you have an interest in actually coming out and doing a trip with me or one of my instructors, you know, we do custom classes and things like that, so we can take you out on these trips. Just send me a private message or hit me up over our website, survivalschool.us, and we can work something out. And like I said, just hit the subscribe button, share and like with all your friends, and we appreciate your commentary and your viewership as always. Thanks. All right, we're rolling out in the FJ Cruiser, doing a little mudding before we head to the Waffle House. My buddy Chris, he's one of our new instructors. My buddy Lee. And we are fixing to go get some waffles, some bacon, all kinds of tasty. We'll catch you on the flip side. Oh shit! Oh.
I'm glad you can drive.
BF Goodrich.
Yes.
Oh man.
That's